Bloomin' heck, boys and girls, good morning. How are we all doing? It's log 32. I only noticed that because I edited this morning. I was like, oh wow, we've done 31. Day 190 of a video every day though, which is pretty cool. I've come to a new spot. Come to somewhere that I actually came a few times before, and it's somewhere that's quite an interesting space. So I'm in Colville, and it's like, I think it's like North Leicester. Don't quote me on it. I think it might be North Leicester. But basically, yeah, I've come to Colville because what they're known for is like just really, really cheap charity shops. I think one part of it is it's like the sort of end of cycle of charity shops here. So what that kind of means is like in the way that charity shops work, they start their journeys at higher prices in better areas, and then as the time of them being on the rail, ooh, that guy's got a ticket, mate, you only had to pay £1 for here. Oh, you know what, I would show him, but you know, like when people have like posh cars and they're like, I don't care getting a ticket. I get it. Like, I've got a mate who watches videos who I think who does the exact same thing. And I did see something before where someone said, like, if you park in somewhere that you're not supposed to, like, essentially, as soon as you got the ticket, just stay there, because it's like, it's basically paying for a premium parking space. But that's not the point. It's about Colville and what we're doing. So let me just turn it around so all this traffic doesn't think, what's this guy doing on his Japanese version? So yeah, this is literally the walk through Colville. Yeah, we got the sliders on still. Of course we have. Now, what I wanted to say is that because Colville is like, you know, I'm not going to say it. I'm going to let you just... Is that open? No, I mean... Oh, it's open at 10 a.m. What time is it now? I'm sure it's 10 a.m. So anyway... Mental down here. Look at that. Bin man. But anyway, what I was trying to get to with the whole point is that Colville is sort of like an end-of-life charity shop place where it's very cheap. They have rails that are £1. We're going to go into them. You're going to see maybe parts of it on here, and majority of the bits as bite-size on TikTok. So that's kind of how I'm going to work it out. Doing one of them things where I'm like walking around thinking, is this where the thing like this? Yeah, mental, man. What's this clip? I don't know. It's fucking noisy. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go around these charity shops. Sorry. Look at the state of this though. Look at the state of this. You thought it was bad on me having sliders. Anyway, besides... Oh my God, imagine this is like your entrance to your shop. Yeah, so I'm not going to say anything about this area. You're going to just probably have your own opinion, and people that know it will have their own opinion. But we're literally going to just come through to all of the charity shops, have a little look inside, see what is actually going for sale for £1. Because essentially, it's like £1 on most things in the charity shops, or they're just very, very cheap. But I want to show you some of the cool bits around it, because to be honest with you, these places that are run down and let's just say a little bit considered a bit more shitty, the buildings are left to just sort of like go old and look, in my opinion, cool. So I'll show you this one I can see. I mean, it smells like someone smoked quite a few funny fags out here, but this is like a really sick venue building, whatever this was. Look at that. Tell me that don't look banging. Rex. I mean, it's wrecked, but looks cool. Oh, and that was also the thing I see. As I was driving through, I just saw, imagine this. There's a guy who's a live streamer on Tilt, and he's got a shop in Colville. So once I kind of navigate through wherever I'm walking, which is honestly like through a bit of a field, it's like a one-way street through a load of nonsense, but the charity shops are all in like this small little habitat bit of area. Oh, cat food. So yeah, we're gonna have a little look. Hopefully I'll get a video shot going into the guy's vintage store, because it would be nice to start branching out of other things and showing you like inside a vintage store. So I'll go there, make sure the guy that I know that's working, make sure he's happy for me to come and film it. But yeah, we're here now, so let's go and pattern some chazzers. So shout out to the person in Ballin that was working, let me come and film, grab some stuff. So hopefully the guys are happy with that. Content's free content. So I'm just posting this about being in the vintage store just to see what happened, and then getting ready to go into there. So annoyingly, I have to have the app open while it's uploading, but I don't think I can film at the same time. I might even go into random shops like this. I don't know, like one thing, I'll turn it around. One thing, well, my hair's mad. One thing I'm definitely trying to figure is that when it comes down to actually doing the content, like, I might go into like a charity shop or a vintage shop like over there, but like there might be parts of the element that people are like, I just like watching you experience like random shops. Like, I don't know, you might like me going into like some discounted like tractor shop. I don't know, it might not be, it might have to be clothing related, but you never know. You never know, so there's only one way to find out. Fight! No, there's only one way to find out, and that's just to keep doing it, because nothing changes if nothing changes. But if I start going into like random European supermarkets and you go spend, I think we're going too far the opposite way. Just let me know. Like, you know, sometimes people, if you're flying a kite and somebody can see the route ahead, they might be the ones to help guide that route. Is that waffle wasp? Yeah. Anyway, 96% uploaded. Let's get in this charity shop. So I can smell like an over-infused taste of like bacon cobs. There's a policeman cardboard cutout in Home Bargains, and I've just slapped through about 6 charity shops. Hang on, mate. Forces support. I got one more. Hang on. I'll come back and report in a sec. Right, so I'm just finishing this one. This is like the 5th one that I've done in this charity shop. But I thought while I'm here, I may as well just get some shots to show you some bits and bobs. Just because obviously when I'm making these TikTok videos, I'm not filming for the YouTube because they're like 2 different scopes, but it's also one of them ones that's quite difficult to just film inside, just because, you know, people are shopping. You don't want to distract people. I don't want to drink coffee out of that one though. You know, you don't want to distract people while they're, oh my god, who remembers playing with them? Yeah, don't want to distract people while that is going on. But you know, it's nice to come in. It's nice to come in and have a little look at the stuff. So yeah, come and have a little look in this random bit with me. This is the one that we're in Colville. Oh my god. It's the sound of me moving absolutely everything back. But yeah, I thought we'll just come and have a little look here. You can just see what's cracking in this one. Don't need to talk all the time, do I? I just can't resist. United Colours of Benetton. Nice shotsy fella. I think these are like all 250 though, so it's not cheap as chips, but you know, it's alright. I might actually go to the toilet in the Pure Gym that's here. Just an intrusive thought. Yeah, sorry. The way that you have to shop through is mental. Excuse me. Yeah, anyway, been through it, looked, seen. It's not actually that active here. I think the thing is this place that I'm in is like known for being like an end of season one. So like where I am, it's like where a lot of the stuff like ends up at the end. This one is 350, kind of mad. But yeah, this is, you know, it's got all these like interesting little racking systems. I've got these literally at work as well, but they've not got books on it. It's got other bits on it. But yeah, there's loads of stuff in here. Like, you know, DVDs. Kind of think it's mad how DVDs are still, you know, something like this was made and then instantly the internet came about and just was like, nope. Like HMV must have had the day that they realised that people could stream Netflix. I bet they were like, oh, it won't catch on. People will still want to buy a DVD. Watch their profits, how they must have dropped like very quickly. But it was very interesting to see how fast it plummeted as the other one rose. But yeah, I'm going to just take a little trip out and we'll just finish this. That's a nice little chaise lounge, 40 quid. It's nice. But I don't have a vehicle with me that can fit that. Interesting. Anyway, this is the shop that we're in. And they've got like some interesting massive like, no, they've got that all over the window, so you can't, it's kind of like got a bit more of a dim light in there, but that was a charity shop in there. I'll just round it off with another clip set. You know, this is what I'm doing right now. I'm actually going to go and see if I can get into the Pure Gym to to go to the toilet. Oh, opening soon. Oh, okay, so I'm not going to do that now. I'm just going to have a little look around, take a seat for a second. But yeah, I mean, coming here has been interesting. Like, coming to these different places is always a good thing to do. Like, it's good to kind of like, it's good to experience other places and seeing how they actually operate. Because one of the biggest like problems that we have with things like this is that, well, for me right now, I'm just taking in a lot of people, but one of the biggest problems with like being able to cohesively or concisely go to different charity shops to like do this as a study is it requires a lot of time to travel. So this one actually wasn't far away from me, but the whole route is like, it's still like an hour drive here and there, and the fuel and the time and the putting that moment of process into it, like, it doesn't put pressure on the videos because I'm not putting pressure on myself to make good videos. I'm just capturing what I think people want to see being captured, and then just seeing how it gets received by like the watch time on videos and stuff. But also, like, coming to like here, like, I'm not going to say coming to a dive, I'm just saying coming to these places that are like, I said it without saying it, but they come to these places that are much less desirable or are, you know, almost at the mercy of mass charity shops. Because where secondhand will win as what it is as a cycle is the fact that as its common denominator, it's affordability. It's something, you know, secondhand being popular tells you that people are struggling, but it's also an industry that will boom as a result of people struggling. And it's not to say that, oh, secondhand is making profit off of poor people. Every business is making profit off of poor people. It's just, you just put the different business name in front of it. If anything, you'd want secondhand stuff to be making money out of you because it's sustainable. So it's sustainably making money out of you, so you can continue to buy that stuff at the price you buy it at. I don't know, but words, McWords is here. I'm just taking this in for a minute. To be honest with you, I need to go to the toilet quite urgently because I do. But that's not your problem. That's my body's problem right now. I'm probably thinking about just getting a coffee, have a look at the timer set because I've got a live at 11:45 and it's currently 10:54. Ooh, 10:54. Okay, so I literally need to get a coffee and skirt out and do a couple of videos. So yeah, see you lot on the next clip. The thing is with places like this, right, is there's probably not like a load of money running about. Like, as in, the average person is the average person is probably like getting a couple of pairs of £7 shoes from Shoe Zone, getting cheap bits. Like, everything is the fruit basket. Everything is like pretty affordable, you know, nicely priced. You know, not as many of the big brands. You've got like Costa Coffee, but you know, next to the amusements, Boots looks about run out and all these things. Like, I don't know, like these sort of areas put a perspective into like what's a high priced thing. Like, charity shops being here in abundance kind of tells you that it's a discounted place. It's like lower income and lower places like that. And they used to say that you can tell the sort of area by the amount of gambling shops, but I think also you could tell the sort of area by the amount of charity shops and the style of charity shops. More important than charity shops begins with C, and that's coffee. So let's get one of these and figure that out. Yes, I'm in Costa for the second time. I'm basically an advert for this brand now, so that's it. Right, so it's in Gulligong's, a 26-minute drive. That means I get there at 11:27. And the live is in 15 minutes on top of that, so I'll go get this coffee quickly chefed off and then get scurrying. So this might be a tight one. Right now, we are here live and direct in Cut. Just literally pulling up to work now. Got Lindsay and Charlie just coming out as well, so I'll just wait a second. But yeah, we have lots in store right now. So we've got the live now at 11:45, and then looking at the time right now, 11:45 we've got the first live. 11:45 we've got the first live, and then at 4:30 or 5 p.m. we've got the bail sale. So we're going to do the individual items at 11:45, and then we've got the bail sale coming up shortly. So it's going to be good. It's going to be exciting. Yeah, I've got literally 5 minutes. So I'm going to get in there. I've just seen Lindsay and Charlie bring up some of the bits, which is super. So we're going to get this going and see what's going on. Right, so it's looking like a bit of a heavy situation on that situation. Morning, oh my God, look at the bloody black bin bags of it all. Morning, Lindsay, all right? Good, thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Stacks and stacks and stacks. So 11:45, 3 minutes time, we're gonna get this one cooking off. But yeah, should be good. I'm gonna literally individual item it, then I'm gonna do the bales later on. right now. I think Suzanne and Marge are having a bit of a nightmare with it because basically the way that we ship the items, the way that we did the bag, it's not like based on a metric of a dimension. Like normally when you ship things out, you have to have the dimensions. I said to them though, like one of the best ideas to have would be to build one of those things that you have like on Ryanair or like on EasyJet, where you literally pop a parcel into a set dimension. It just like it's just like the smartest way to make sense on it, I think. But yeah, we're gonna get on the live. We're gonna see what people are feeling, what people are buying, and yeah, keep it moving. So that is the live done just as the bell tolls past 1. And we actually got through a few. Now, I will be honest with you, when I'm doing these sort of mini bundles, this sort of new bail project and individual items, there's so many different elements for people to understand, but also as a subsection of this, there's so many different types of customers. Somebody who's going to go, I want to buy this individual like Puma tech light top, versus someone who goes, I want to buy one of these women's small bundles, versus someone who goes, I want to buy 40 items at a set price. So what Marge's doing over there, I'm going to talk to you in a moment about it, because it'd be good for you guys to just see and understand. For those that are on here that have maybe bought, I know some of you have from YouTube, so it'd be just good for you to know exactly what's been going on. But yeah, just finished the live, chopped up these bits. And most of the time, what I find with doing a live stream is that it's just all about presence. It's all about locking in and getting an hour, you know, rather than thinking, I've not done one in 3 days, I've got to do 4, 5, 6 hours. It's just going, no, if I can do one, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 days a week, then at least then I can do like 60 to 90 minutes per one. Somebody said on YouTube, TikTok, someone was like, why do you use your hands? And the reason why is because the reason why you see my hands and stuff is because I work closely with the wide angle POV. So I guess shout out to Elijah at Giles Garms, who also gave a suggestion of something I thought about recently about getting like the glasses. So essentially this would be like my vision. So like it feels like you can see both my hands and, you know, that whole POV shot. So ideas are always cooking. Ideas are always there. So these are just bundles that I'll be saving for tomorrow. And then what I'm essentially going to be doing today, and I'm going to break down how things are going to become a bit of an interesting development. So these are all the bundles that are on the way of going out at the moment. I will wait. Marge's on the computer right now. I will talk to you. But basically, I've lost money on this experiment shipping-wise. And I want to tell you why I've lost money. But first, I'll show you the items we still have to go. So what's been happening as well is the ladies that do the washing for like the till individual items, they go through some of the bags, they take the items, they take them down, they wash them, and then we individually sell them. But then with the actual reseller bales, I'm just taking that in its raw shell, starting at £4.50 per kilo, selling it around about here and doing that. So because we've still got lots of bags, we've still got plenty, I think. I think we maybe have like 105 bags. So I've got a, what is that? That's a Minnie Mouse one. I don't know how long until the next delivery I've got. So I will still be shooting them out as fast as possible, just because one part of the whole process, anybody that does secondhand and vintage, it's like, I like seeing if I can get it gone before the new stuff comes in, but it never happens because there's absolute like shit tons everywhere. But that's that. Right. Let me break down this. One thing that's very important, or I guess something to be mindful of, if you are somebody who thinks, I'd like to do what Spen does in the capacity of like selling these bales, I want to get to the point, because somebody said this on the live stream, let me shut the door, someone said this on the live stream, they just said, basically, I would love to do what you do. I would love to get to the point where I do what you do. And I think that it's always interesting when people have that perspective. You know, you look at somebody and you go, that's where I position a goal. But what I want to get to right now is that even at these points with things that seem like one type of thing on the surface, they're completely different. So these bales that we did, based on the assumption that it would be like £10 shipping per one, we've been essentially a little bit humbled. But basically, how shipping works, especially in the UK, is it's all heavily dimensions based. So, you know, I think I might mention it in another clip, but you know, like them things that you put in when you go to the airport, and it tells you like how, like the dimensions you've got, basically. It will go, this will fit or this won't fit. That's the sort of situation we're in, because all this stuff, you've never got one of them bags to your door like that. Maybe because postmen and courier services will get a bit angry at that, or just because it's awkward to carry. You can't really do the job efficiently as a delivery man, because you have to constantly just keep, I guess, coming out and getting a new bag and stuff. But the main thing about what we've learned is that the shipping is a lot more expensive than we anticipated. and as a result we work on absorbing that cost with what we do. So I'll turn the camera around and we'll speak to Marge if she's got a minute, and hopefully she can give you a little bit of insight into what this actually means for your orders if you've got one. I'm just with Marge, so just for this clip, so just give us almost a brief or sort of an update on what the shipping actually means, what we've discovered and what we're taking as a solution.
Okay, looking at a lot of different couriers, most of them cap at 15 kilograms, which is a bit of a bum, considering most of them are over 15 kilograms. And then the dimensions have been wrong. So we have been bagging them up, but we do now have somebody parcel force, and it'll be a 2-day delivery. So apologies if it's taken us a bit longer.
2-day delivery is a delay, isn't it?
No, not that there's delaying us actually getting them sent out.
Right.
Because we've had to try and condense them down, then rebag them with a black outer layer so that nobody can see all your goodies.
So it's actually still in the bag, it's just got that covering.
It's got another bag over it. Yeah, it's because if it was just in its see-through bag,
yeah,
you don't know these sneaky people that might go, look, there's a Nike. Oh, look,
that's
there's
true,
a Rav.
actually.
And they might have like gone, oh dear, this bag's damaged, and then nick it out. So this way, it's completely enclosed in a black bag as well, with your label on. So it'll be parcel force that will be delivering your orders.
So parcel force will be delivering it, but this is what I was saying earlier on. We're taking the absorbed cost because we're going to be paying on close to double the cost of shipping.
Yeah, at the minute we
from
are.
what we've charged.
I'm trying to get an actual account because we're with Royal Mail, but their dimensions, it's too big for their dimensions. So parcel force can do the dimensions, but yeah, it works out £17.
Is that including the VAT?
Yes, £17.20 including VAT.
So one thing that's good about VAT, and you don't hear me saying that a lot about VAT because I think we can all agree that there's this grey area, but one thing that's good about it costing us £17 for per parcel we've charged a tenner is that we get 20% of that back.
Well, we don't get it back. We offset it against.
We offset it against the VAT
that we owe.
Yeah, but as a result, there's that plays a role in the reduction of what we pay.
Of what we pay.
Just to sort of understand. So what we've learned from this is that we're going to take it up to £4.50 a kilo, which basically means, I think you can agree with me on this one, is it's like if the shipping remains lower than what people are actually going to be, i.e. in terms of what we pay, people are almost more concerned with shipping being higher versus the price being higher on it.
I mean, it's a swings and roundabouts, isn't it? Because you could say...
No, but what I mean is a £20 item with free shipping or a £15 item with £5 shipping, people will look at the £20 item as more desirable because there's some part of it that's free. Not to say that we're going to do free shipping, but because we can absorb that cost. If you saw £20 per bag, you're going to probably be a bit dubious.
Yeah, because if we say putting it up like £4.50 a kilo...
Yeah.
If some of them go for a lot more anyway, they're going to about £5 or £6 a kilo.
That's the aim. That's what we hope for.
Actually, the customer is not. It's just the starting price is a wee bit higher. But that's will only be really effective if it.
That's only us doing that to kind of cover our arse, though.
Yeah, we're just covering it that little bit to cover this bit of postage. This postage is costing us more, but we're absorbing it that way because the chances are you're going to bid to it. So if it started at 70 quid at £4 a kilo, but then when we put it up, it goes, oh look, it's at 75.
We've had ones that have started at say 75 and gone for 120. The average one
exactly. So if it's going for more anyway, it's just the starting price will be a bit higher. So if it goes at starting price, then you have paid £4.50 a kilo.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Appreciate it.
But yeah, we will be. I'm in talks now with Parcel Force. They said it can be really, really quick to set up the account, and then I've not got to manually, because what I've got to do at the minute is manually put in all of your details, the dimensions of all the sizes and the weights.
Yeah.
Whereas it'll be easy when I can just do a
nice one. Yeah, honestly, guys, a transparent look into what happens. Like I say, I like to work on the strengths that I have. I can be the strength of being the ideal presenter, the way to sell the product, and making sure that the information that I know from being relayed with Marge and the ladies about this side helps. We work in our own systems. Obviously, Marge and the whole system is probably easier to have more help, but it's still, considering the small team, it's still a figured out system over time. This is day 2 of figuring it out, and by day 3, day 4, by next week, we're going to probably have an account, have a system, be in our way of knowing and understanding how it works. And
do it each time that you place the orders rather than waiting a week and doing them all together.
Yeah. So, we just work with the processes. So right now it's 1:20. The next live is at 5 o'clock where I want to just go to the gym and get a few contents. But what I'm going to show you now because I know that this is going to hopefully get some clicks, how much I actually make on TikTok, because I think that what needs to be transparent and understood is like, one of the things I'm curious by with content that I watch is how much people actually earn from it and how transparent they are about what they earn from it. So it's kind of funny right now because I think my TikTok's been I've been grounded, should I say, and I think that it happens quite often, but I'm going to learn about it. Basically, everything that's done on, I'll just leave more just because I actually concentrate on that. Everything that's done on TikTok is all RPM related, but it's all about the industry that you're posting in, the ecosystem of that, and all that kind of stuff. So I'll show you what I've made in around about the last 12 to 13 days. It might be, is that the rain? Oh no. It might be closing in on 2 weeks, but I want to show you truthfully and honestly how much I generated from how many views I had to get, and then afterwards maybe just a little bit of a review before I head out again. So for all the in-out nosy buggers, this is the page of the analytics. So in the last 7 days, we've had 1.1 million views, 1,500 followers, and 50k likes. So the account is in like a healthy position. But now what happens with this? I need to stop showing my cards. What happens with this is I got community strikes, right, recently. I got a few community strikes for calling somebody a numpty and saying that the price that someone paid in a charity shop was mental, but I meant mental in a good way. Like with TikTok being a personal brand, you represent them, they're giving you money, and it's all on their terms. I get it, it makes sense. But in the first sort of week to 2 weeks, it was good. But I'll show you realistically and honestly where we're at. So in the last 7 days since the nuke, let me get a good thumbnail. That is how much I've earned on TikTok in the last 7 days from posting aggressively. If we take it to 30 days of when it started, £441. When it starts, around about, there's no data on the 6th. Sorry, my thumb and fingers are moving horrendously. There it is. On the 14th, I think, was when it started with a £5. So qualified views were £1,441. But look, you can see in some of the latest videos. So if I go down, like look how many of them have been nuked in the last like few days. So it tells you the RPM on videos based on what you get. It basically means that's like revenue per million, I think. So it's all done by per thousand. So all of these videos were not eligible. Like all of these videos made 2p, 1p. So, you know, if somebody said, is TikTok a good way to make money? I would say it's something that you can have as an income stream that you shouldn't rely on. Like, I mean, look, I've only just started and £441, but 1 million qualified views, like 1 million views that qualified for it. And I've obviously hit a bit of a dip in the last few days, but it's natural. And I think that when you look at the bigger picture of it, it's still like skyrocketed up. So honestly, let me know what you think. Do you think £441 in about the last 2 weeks of posting on TikTok is good? What's your thoughts on that? I guess the reason for me why I like it is because nothing different has happened other than the fact that I'm aware I'm making more content to try and essentially, I'll be honest with you, what's more powerful to me from having an account that's having a bit of a higher stature on TikTok is that I'm connecting with new people that are finding the account every day getting hundreds of new followers, and every day new messages, new questions being sent to flipping all these places. Like lots of people are coming from TikTok, going to YouTube, coming to TikTok, going here, coming to TikTok, buying the bales, all this sort of stuff. Like the cycle is turning and it's just navigating those people. So for me, not being paid on TikTok in a heavy amount is fun because that money is only going to be used to essentially, so we're at 441. I think when we've got to about £1,000, if that's a possibility, we'll have to see, depends on the content. What the plan is and the intention is to put that money straight into buying a trip to like Amsterdam, going to the markets. And I was meant to be flown out by this guy, but you know, with suppliers, the thing is what happens is they have all these ideas, but most people that run business are absolutely busy. So I'll turn it around a sec, you know, just to keep the shots fresh. But yeah, the person who I was being flown out by, we've just sort of like not met paths in the middle. He's been really busy. He's been moving units and he's sort of going through a lot of new connections with like his supplier changes and stuff. And I didn't want to like put pressure on him. He knows where I'm at and he knows what he wants to do. But what some people want as well, and this is one thing I've noticed with like some of the people I'm working with, is because like this channel that you're watching on right now, it's small, right? So if you're here, sorry for pointing, excuse me for my burping. If you're here watching this right now, you're one of the early birds. But this sort of content like that I'm doing is content that I watch, content that I consume, and content that does have the capacity to be in a good place. So what a lot of people that are, I guess, suppliers might do is they're kind of waiting to see a video that's got 500,000 views and to go, oh, okay, so this guy does have some leverage and will speak. And that's not what I'm saying that's what they're doing. But if I was an account with 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, I'd probably already have been to Amsterdam and have reviewed the place. That's just the reality of it. And I'm fine with that. But what TikTok is allowing me to do now, and hopefully YouTube in the next couple of months, which will be exciting, is being monetized off the content that I make anyway. And as a result, putting that money back into the cycle. Like I say, this is my business. This is how I make my income. And I make my income through consultancy and through other bits. And the content creation is merely like a pot of money to use to essentially go, right, the pot of money, this is all my income. This is the money that comes from the content creation. This is just a normal thing to pay for all these buildings, pay for life, pay for living, existence. And this is the money that I can go, right, I can take this out from this pot that I've got here and I can put it into making content overseas. I think that that's the only way that I'm going to change developers as a content creator is by actually going into different places and exploring more things. And I do really want to explore a lot. I do want to go around and see a lot more. And, like I say, I really want to home in on challenging the narrative. I think that one thing I've been trying to be aware of is not becoming the car boot guy and the charity shop guy, but with content around fashion and clothing, you either go down two routes where you go, I'm going to talk about all of the new things that are in fashion, like things that I see all the time, like what like Ted Baker's done, how it's clothes, like Skepta being incorporated with Puma, how Paul Smith is working with TK Maxx to create their own clothes. But in the same breath, I don't actually want to become like a journalistic content creator. I find that I wouldn't be interested enough by that. And I actually like the idea of making content more of the natural observer. I like making content and saying things that everybody's thinking. Like looking at a guy and going, he's got his jacket inside out. Or looking at something and going, what's that? What's that? Why is that? Because that's the natural observer in us all that does that. And that's where I want to be. So in terms of the content, in terms of like the TikTok situation, it's not that deep. Like the fact of like being shaved off from that isn't that deep because content was being made anyway. But that is just generally where it's at. I'd be interested to know what you think about that. Anyway, Marge's got a few questions for me now, so I'm going to let my phone charge, head to the gym, do what I'm actually going to do today, first time in ages, is when I go to the gym, I'm going to do some walk work where I'm actually going to just handle a bit of like admin, all the tilt messages. I'm just going to go, right, I'm going to go on the treadmill for 30 minutes. I'm going to tackle them all, and at least I've done some cardio whilst doing the messages. I'll have to come back around about 4:30 to move all of this stuff up there to set that up, which you'll see. But yeah, even though the content is not getting that conversion, like I told you, the charity shop content that I do, every video is getting the thousands of views and it's getting hit by new people. So I've got 6 or 7 charity shop videos to do, as in, let me show you my phone. I've got 6 or 7 charity shop videos that I've got already. And then what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to just do other content. So what I've been trying to do at the minute is it's a video inside a store followed by a question, a video inside a store followed by a question, and then just sort of scaling up on that kind of system. So that's sort of what I'm going to do. So I've got literally 5 charity shops still in the locker. I'm going to go to Loughborough, probably do 1 or 2 more, and then use that as like my little pot of a cycle. So that's what's going on right now. Bye. Yo, hello everybody. The time is I think like 3:45. The gym has been complete. A quick little excursion to get a meal deal. Really boring. I hate that sort of like living like an NPC style. I don't mean like that, but like having to rush to get a meal deal. Like, I don't know why I needed to include that, but I'm not really like a big fan of like lunch sort of decisions. Again, it comes down to that decision fatigue. It's like the minute you have to waste your time thinking about decisions like what am I eating, it should just be like, I don't know, staple piece. Anyway, most importantly, I've just rushed back now because this stuff's getting picked up by Royal Mail at about 4:15, and then the live is on at 5. So essentially, it's the wind. Essentially what I've got to do now is just make a couple little TikToks, probably handle a few tilt messages just so that I've topped up those really, and then just get the computer set up in there. So I'm thinking today one idea I've had. So Marge was basically saying, let me turn the camera around to show you this one. So obviously at this point, we're trying to look at ways to like simplify. And I'll give it Marge her credit. Marge is an absolute saint. I was shit at doing this, and her and Suzanne have absolutely smashed it. I wasn't very good at this part of the process, but an idea she had that I think is great is putting one of these bags in something similar to this. She didn't actually say this, but I thought it just now, because she was like, we need something to hold it up. Essentially have an empty bag and a full bag. And what I do is I take it out of the full bag, put it in the empty one. So rather than how it's been on the live where I just empty these bags on the floor and then individually picking them up, I think she's just thinking, well, it might be a simpler job. So this might come up here with me shortly. And I'm thinking to kind of make the setup a little bit different today, just because, essentially, because it's been raining a little bit, I'm not going to be able to put the bags outside just because they'll get wet. So I need to think of like somewhere where the bags can be rolled, because essentially the ladder's been here, so it blocks the door. So when I'm like on the live and I'm going, right, this one, guys, this bag, and then I'm throwing it over here, I don't want it to confuse with the ones that haven't sold and just to create some very awkward situation. But yeah, I might actually just help them out and just get the rest of these bagged up as well, because it's going to make a lot more sense. Right, quick TikTok video made. I just did one about 5 reasons that it's your time and sign to get into reselling. So I didn't have time to research the RPM thing, but what I've learned very quickly, if anybody's curious about the 3 ways that help your RPM, i.e. if you are to make money off TikTok, how to improve it. The first one is to understand what value you're bringing to your niche. So for example, I kind of thought about it, like if I'm going to charity shops and all I'm doing is looking at different items, I'm not giving value. So I'm going to make sure that more things are targeted towards what you can actually resell for, what's got value in a charity shop, and that kind of scope. So it's sort of almost saying, figure out what your niche is and figure out how to add value to that niche. So don't just say, oh yeah, I sell clothing and let me show you what clothing I've sold. It's like, nobody can take value from that. Point 2 is to understand what tier group your actually demographic is sitting in. So UK and America are the highest RPM countries, and some places like the Philippines have the lowest, which basically means if you have a bigger audience in like those places of geography or geographical location, then you just hit with a lower RPM. And then the third point, if I remember off the top of my dome, which I'm trying to get into the mind and think about what it was that was it. The third one is understanding the watch time. So what it was almost saying is the longer the videos you make, there has to be a longer watch time with it. Now, I'm not going to go against something here, but shout out to somebody who is a regular watcher of it. I won't keep making a theme of shouting out the same peeps, but shout out to those that continue to keep being worth shouting out about. But I was advised that like looking at the actual, say when you look at the average watch time on TikTok, let me turn it around. This angle feels a bit boring now. Okay, so say that you're on TikTok, right? You go on a video, so pick one at random that's like probably from, this point here. This video I did yesterday, they got 11.7k. Oh, no, I don't want to favorite it. But click that one, and then you click that. So going on at the average watch time, I'm thinking 32 seconds. So actually going to about 31 and going, okay. Right, so clearance has got to be where we've got to find it. And it's basically released by the brand. But let's have a little look at the clearance section and see what's actually worth money to resell. And I'll be genuinely honest. Okay, so from there, the average person clicked off when I just mentioned about what you could buy to resell. So that could mean that it targeted a lot of people that weren't actually into reselling. Now get this one, because this one's actually quite fascinating. I did this study on the 3 or 4 car boot videos that I'd actually done, right? And what I noticed about the sort of click off rate on the car boot ones was when I said the word bits. Okay, that's cool. Energy. When I said the word bits. Now, for me, bits is like bits and bobs, like just bits and pieces. When you're talking about a car boot, that's almost what it is. It's people's things, their stuff, their bits. But unfortunately, the word that I keep saying, that I won't just keep saying, it has connotations in what seems to be, obviously, a red flag sort of nature. So 3 videos, that's a word that I said that the average person clicked off at. So the importance of learning that has allowed me to basically know that I won't mention that, and I'll see if that differs from watch time. So that's what I've learned so far. This is something actually quite interesting. Well, not interesting, but this is sort of semi-interesting. I've just thought now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just make a TikTok post. I'm going to do a TikTok story just to show off some items. By the way, this is as far as the idea's gone so far, and I haven't done anything else for it. But what I'm actually doing is I'm just looking at things that I actually want to show on the camera. Do I want to do a full fit? Do I not? I've just saw these 2 Lacoste polo tops. And what I'm thinking is, because the site hasn't got a lot of one thing, I'm actually going to take the black Lacoste polo and I'm going to make that a fit in a moment. What I'm going to do as well is I'm going to look at ways to find items that will sit well with it. So let me turn it around, because this will be more fun for you to see what I see. Did you see what I done? Don't know yet. We've not seen anything spent. Nice G-Star jacket. So I'm just going to piece together a few little looks. We're going to have that one. I say a few little looks. I'm probably just going to do the one, but I'm going to just show you the process of it. So this is like an easy one to kind of go in, right? So I've got my 3 bits at total random, following the same format I normally do, which is finding nice lighting, essentially finding inverted lighting. So most people would go, oh yeah, that's the best lighting there because it's right in the sort of like most light. But for me, I actually like finding pockets of shadows. So I'll set it up, take the photo, take the placement of it, and you'll just see that side. Also, this isn't a disclaimer at all, but since the website has been less of like my driving force, purpose felt like thing, I don't know, like I don't approach the photography with the same degree, I suppose. I'm kind of focusing on doing the photography in a scope where, I don't know, I'm just trying to like grab moments to grab content, you know, the same way that I do, the same way that I'm doing TikTok, really. But, you know, this is the sort of stuff where you'd probably be best seeing me, like, in my eyes, but as in, like, seeing, like, the actual piece coming together. But, you know, it is what it is. This is just something that I intermittently do. You lot might think it's kind of crazy. Spen's got, like, quite a big Instagram. He's, you know, what's he doing with it? He's not really posting. He's not maximising it. The honest reality of it is, guys, is that the more followers you have, the more pressure there is on what you post. I.e., if I just went like a madman posting every single day, what I noticed when I started posting all about the personal brand is that I was probably losing 400 to 500 followers a week because I hadn't figured out how I was marketing this new direction to the people who weren't aware of a new direction. You got to think, if someone follows you for clothes and then you start talking about sustainability, you've lost that person because they weren't within the niche that you've now become accustomed to. So one thing I'd say is just be careful of how much you niche down. That's one thing I'm definitely realising, like the sort of nature of niche. I'm actually not too gassed about the way that this looks, but I'm going to just see how this looks on the story and do it like that. So, right. Also, this is like a proper side note, and I don't mean any offence by this. I've just seen this come through on my phone. The pause then was me not trying to fight an intrusive thought. Since I'm doing the car boot videos, a lot of people seem to be direct messaging me on like TikTok, asking if I want company to go to a car boot with. Like, do I want a friend? I don't think people understand. Like, I actually love these things on my own, and it would be the worst thing ever if somebody was actually with me, because I just don't give a shit about other people being with me, especially when I'm doing like a car boot, especially when I'm making content. That's what I'm there for. I'm not there for anything else. But it's just funny. People that message us saying, hey, if you ever need someone to go with, I'll come with you. It's like, if I see you around, say hey to me. But I don't know, that's probably a random thought. It's probably happened like 15 times in the last like 3 days. So it's just a bit like a lot to understand why people would ask that. But it doesn't matter right now. We're taking this. So this is just literally how I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do it to that capacity. So just literally something on that borderline works, doesn't it? So literally that is just going to go on. Sorry, that's disgusting. What I'm going to do is I'm going to post it and I'm going to let you see the posting process, actually. Random as, I know, but where you from? Another person messaging me on TikTok, like, please, just leave me alone. Not really, but like, it's nice. If you are somebody who is watching this and you're like, I've messaged you on TikTok, look, it's fine. But I didn't realise that there would be loads of people doing the exact same thing. I find it quite funny, and also at the same time a bit like, chill. So here we go. I'm just going to go into the story and show you. So right now I've got literally that photo that I've taken. We've got the little hangout there. So hang on. So when I look at the placement, that's literally how I've done it. I don't really like to change too much. I think all that stuff's like quite a lot of noise. Like, this is exactly how it looks. Look. What? Your energy vibe is something else. There is something I'm drawn to. Cringe. Okay. Weird. Well, not weird. It's nice. It's like, if you're watching this video, like, I appreciate it. But just remember, when people comment on the TikTok saying like things like this, you've seen me, but I have no idea who you are. So it comes across like quite mental. Not mental. It alarms me. Okay. So this is the post, and what I'm basically going to do is just write a little bit of text and put a link there, and I'll show you how this placement sits. But yeah, this was really nice, and it'll be easy to post, easy to get probably a sale from. Okay, so this is where we sit in quite an interesting bit. So right now, I'm like just thinking, how do I place this? Maybe I don't even need this, right? So it's all about like what you're actually trying to do with this. So like for me, I'm like, I need that placed in a nice way. So there, that just links to the website, post it on that, and then it's done. And then we're literally just going to see what's going on for that. And oh yeah, I changed little bits in the description. Definitely working on this. If you don't have a link tree, these are always really good, just because it like syncs everything together very, very easily. Okay, so the time is 5 to 5. This is going to be a quick video, but in the time that we've not spoke, miss you guys. No, in the time we not spoke, just had to quickly shave off about 50 messages until. Luckily, they're all kind of like, oh, this dog winding me up. Luckily, because they follow like a similar sort of thing, most people are just going, hi mate, where's my order? You know, because we don't mark as shipped on there, just because it's so much of a manual job. You know, less automation, more manual just means more effort to actually be asked to do it. But most importantly, this is like the little micro setup. So decided to put it here today so that I go from here, because what happened is the camera was here, everybody could see behind, and obviously everyone's like, oh, can I get that bale? Can I get this one? Plus, thank you to thank you to the new ladies actually for leaving a massive part. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna point blames. It's not a blame because I didn't make it clear that I was going to be up here today. But yeah, just had to move all this stuff out of the way. It's all good. And make some bundles. Just literally did a couple trainer bundles, because like the beauty with having all this stuff, like honestly, no word of a lie, I would like take 50 items from the kilo, the unbranded stuff, show them and start them at a cheap price, and I guarantee there'll be somebody who'll go, that's actually a really nice top. So yeah, I've got 2 or 3 trainer bags that will still go at £4.50 a kilo, and we'll just see. You know, this could be, hang on, let me just turn it around. I don't know like the sort of longevity of this kind of selling yet. Like, you know, we've only done this amount, and I know I'm not saying this amount, but like we've sold all of these and I've still got all of these. The process we do is normally retail, not wholesale, so I'm just kind of thinking. But I've got loads, and I'm literally going to go on at 5 o'clock, and I think go on at 5, stay until as long as possible, really, and just try and do at least 5 an hour. That's kind of like a sort of mini target, so you know, I try and do at least 5 bundles an hour. Ideally more, but I'm not rushing the process. So yeah, gonna get the camera set up, go for a quick wee, go for a wee, and then yeah, get this one cooked off. And just like that, I don't know why I'm yawning now. Is it 20 to wait? Let me look at the other phone. What time is it? We started the live at 5, and it is, oh, hang on, I'm getting a call. So, sorry, I think that clip I just got cut off because I just had a call. So, tonight was a bit different. Tonight was honestly more of a realistic perspective of how I guess this situation would really play out in the grand scheme of things. So, I think we did like maybe 7. We did like 7 bundles. And, wait, we can count. We did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, about 7 bundles. And that just shows there's a difference. But what that really tells me is, from what we've done so far, there just has to be a better deliverance with the message of what people are getting. Like, I was shown some today, and I know for a fact, hang on, get the keys for the shutters. I know for a fact that when people don't see like brands that they want very quickly, they get discouraged. And what it is really is when some of the bundles go at the start and they see, say, like a North Face, and then they see a Hugo Boss tee, there's that element of, I wonder what else I'm going to get. So, you know, it was still good. Still learn a bit about like the process, and as long as every day I'm learning a lesson about what it is that we're doing, then we're in a good situation. So I'm not I'm not disheartened by it. We just carry on and we keep cracking on. It's gonna be quite nice when all of this has gone tomorrow and we can kind of like have some space to think about it. But yeah, I'm probably gonna just have to have a little bit of a recce with this process of how we're gonna do things, because essentially at the minute I've got these bags here that I'm gonna basically take down here. Yeah, it was still good. I can't complain. You remember, like, when somebody's like parting with this sort of cash, hang on, don't judge me, it is only clothes. Ow, that wasn't. When somebody's paying like £100 at a time for like a bundle, you know, they're making an investment, and I totally appreciate the investment that people make, especially considering like you can only see items for a split second on a screen and all those things to consider. So, you know, I'm going to move these bags off the camera so it's not weird content, and then give you a final shot. And so the time is 7:30. I was going to be on the live till 8 o'clock, but some things just don't go as you plan. And you know what? I'm not that fussed about it. I think that like this is some things that are keen to know is when something goes well, sometimes you always get like hyped on that momentum, but the momentum doesn't necessarily mean like a successful continued momentum. I.e., if I sell 100 items today and I'm like, oh my God, I'm onto something, let me try and sell 100 tomorrow. If I just go off the promise that I think because I've done it the day before that I can do it again, it's like a false promise. So this was like built up off of, you know, hoping that people would still come into the room. But again, a lot of money to expect people to pay. The transfer of people from TikTok and YouTube and like everyone here to Tilt is like almost proving quite a transfer. It's going to take time. It's a big process, but you know, this is a sign that we're onto something. Like this little micro, well, I don't even say micro, this response by everybody just shows me that what we're doing, we're onto something with it. And like I say, I want to sell clothes in a different capacity. I think like everybody knows this. It's not like a hidden secret. I've done it since 2012. I'm not somebody who goes, I can't do it, so I'm not going to do it. I think like similar people in my age range that were doing it for the same length of time, perhaps, it got to a point where I'm like, I like it, and I don't want to get to a point where I hate clothing, but I want there to be an attachment to what I do to feel like there's more purpose behind it, which is why I like YouTube, which is why I like the content, which is why some of the things I'm working on right now, I'm really working on them to be something that are going to help you guys build your businesses. So with that in mind, I'm going to leave it at that, leave it as a nice mystery, but stay safe, sustainable, keep doing you. Tomorrow is a whole lot of what we're doing today. So join me tomorrow for more of it. Yeah, I'm tired. In a bit.